Yeah, Racer X Exhaust Podcast is back. I don't know why. I didn't think that 2 races a week would feel like 4 times the amount of work that 1 race a week is. It is out of control. It is on fire. I was up till about 2:30 in the morning last night covering last night's race, and here we are again on a Thursday morning, right back at it, because not only we have to review Wednesday, we have to preview the next race, which is already coming up Sunday. 4 rounds down, 3 to go. This is nuts. This particular Racer X Exhaust podcast will have the post-race press conference held last night after Salt Lake City 4. It's all brought to you by Yoshimura. You know that the Yoshimura-R&D website gives you all the information you need on Yoshimura exhaust systems, including the new RS12, now shipping for the YZ250F, already available for the RMZ 250 and RMZ 450, and I have a feeling there's more coming soon. Of course, you got those nice, shiny exhaust systems from Yosh on the back of the factory Hondas and the back of the JGR Suzuki, so you know they're developing new stuff all the time. And that also includes the pedaling set and their actual pedals over at YoshimuraCycling.com. Check out the Chaleo pedal, now available in 2 sizes, large and small. It's a flat pedal that is also made and engineered right here in the USA, just like the Yoshimura exhaust system. So that's YoshimuraCycling.com. I am Jason Wygant. This podcast hosted by Daniel Blair, but I'm in there asking questions of the riders. We had our podium finishers. That is Zach Osborne, Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb. We had the West back, by the way, led by Austin Forkner. Second was Dylan Ferrandis. And third, a nice resurgent ride by Cameron McAdoo. But first, a word from MX Tech, a suspension company that manufactures professional aftermarket suspension for riders who want excellent comfort and control. Their quality engineering is based on a lifetime of specializing in dirt bike suspension, and they have developed the Lucky Fork featuring dual springs, dual cartridges, Huck valves, and it's ultra lightweight. Because MX Tech utilizes the latest in technology and coatings to deliver max performance and lightweight. Head over to mx-tech.com for more information. Yoshimura-rd.com. mx-tech.com. Get that hyphen thing down. Also, Psychic MX now on board, a full-range motocross brand providing engine internals and parts for everyday wear and tear. Pretty much anything on your bike that you need to have fixed or replaced, they've got it. From weekend warriors to your full-on race guys, they have everything you need. So check them out, psychicmx.com, or visit your local dealer today. Got a couple of their ads also running on racerxonline.com. So if you see it, click on it and learn what those folks are all about. And also, if you go to racerxonline.com, go there, then type in / then Weege, W-E-E-G-E, and then subscribe, and then I get credit instead of this Daniel Blair character who has his own link. I will not tell you about it. And Steve Mathis, who has his own link, but I will not tell you about that either. It is not Pulp, and it is not Blair, I swear. Don't even try it. Don't even type it. I want the credit, not them. Daniel Blair almost got taken out, almost literally, maybe beheaded by Justin Barsha's bike during this event. Luckily, he did not get hit, and he's able to host the press conference. Here it comes.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is the post-race press conference from round number 14 of the 2020 Monster Energy Supercross Championship from Salt Lake City. Huge congratulations to the riders on the podium in the 250 and 450 divisions. Cameron McAdoo, Dylan Ferrandis, Austin Forkner. Congrats, guys. In the 450 division, Eli Tomac, Zach Osborne, and Cooper Webb. Congratulations on a great day of racing. Cameron, I'll start with you. I talked to you a little bit on the podium about it. During the break, riders took off some time and eased their way back in, but you seemed to be on it the whole way through, and even documenting it, putting it on Instagram, putting up full laps. You don't see that a lot from riders. Just kind of go through that process and how important it was for you to make the gains that you needed. Obviously, it worked out today.
Yeah, it's just kind of the way I have to work. Like, it's pretty hard for me to take extended amount of time off, and I just feel at my best when I kind of stay pretty consistent. And I feel like I want to be transparent with my fans and everyone else out there. Like, we're not hiding anything. We're all doing laps and stuff like that. So yeah, I felt that it was really important to stay improving as much as I could and really be ready for the last rounds if or when they were going to happen. So stoked to be here.
Right on. Congratulations. Dylan, after the main event, I saw you ride up to Austin and, gave Knuckles high five, and it looked like you guys were congratulating each other. A lot of respect there. And you even kind of mentioned that on the podium. You said you worked really hard during this race. You fought it, and you gave him the respect that he deserves. With 2 rounds to go and a tight championship, you two ready to battle it out? I mean, are you looking forward to this fight to close this out?
Yeah, I said that because this mean was really hard physically. I really feel that it was one of the most difficult main I did in Supercross. And, he won, so he deserves a congrats, I feel, because I pushed really hard. I gave everything I had, and he still won. So that means he should probably have worked really hard during the break, and that's good. That's good for the sport, and just deserve a nice congrats.
Awesome. Congratulations on the win. During the break, I had a chance to talk to you at one point. I know you'd switched over to some outdoor stuff and then kind of tampered back into the Supercross, and you said Robbie Raynard had told you were on track and everything was looking really good. Once you've been able to get back on Supercross full time, were you able to find some of that 2019 speed that you had? And I know you're coming back from the injury early in the year, but does it feel good to be back where you were, where you're just, you're clicking off full speed?
Yeah, it feels good, and it was more so just I feel like maybe a little bit of my trust in my knee and stuff, and this break has only helped it get stronger. So it feels good, and obviously I was pumped to come out here and start the whole 3-race season ender. Like I did today, and like Dylan said, it was really tough. I was giving it all that I had. You have to, you have to really play like out there with. You can't really just go out and give it like you'll blow up. Especially like this being our first race. Everybody's told me, your body will adapt the longer you're here, or it'll get better. But they said the first race is pretty tough, and it was just the altitude, and the bike was slower, but I mean, that wasn't the bigger thing. It was mainly just the breathing, but I felt solid. And I think that the off season, or I say off season, just the little 4-month break we've had, or 3 months, or however long it's been, the work that I've done, I think it shows.
Well, congratulations. 450 division, Eli, congratulations on the ride. We're at that point in the season where, the numbers really do come into play, and you've got a pretty big points lead. It looked like today that there was a lot of patience from you. Was that just a daily situation just based on the track and how you're feeling, or are you starting to kind of look at those numbers and know that the decisions need to be made a little bit more cautiously, at least coming through the pack?
Yeah, I mean, the start was unacceptable. I'm going to start, looking long-term, but the start was unacceptable. I was like third guy in line and going to the first turn there and was buried. So the outcome was fine. But to be honest, I was pretty stressed out when I saw first lap Coop and Kenny up front. And I'm like, oh, no, this might be a 10-point night. So, just kept digging there, got to third. That was acceptable, but can't be doing those starts like that again.
Zach, congratulations. We've talked about this, and I'll somewhat ask it again. You just, since we've been here in Salt Lake City, you put together the best run we've seen of your career. I mentioned in the broadcast how last year, your rookie year, you didn't get all of it. And even the start of this year with the sickness and then the injury, it's just you haven't been able to really, get a full run going. But since we've been here, 4 top 5s, 2 podiums, tied your career best with a second. Mentally, are you getting into a new mode and a new zone that you haven't really felt yet in the 450 class? Because on track, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me right now is just I'm in a really good headspace. I feel fresh when I get to the races, and I've just been really enjoying the time here in Salt Lake with my family. And it's been honestly just a huge refresher for me. And I think that's been the biggest thing. My bike's changed a little bit from the beginning of the year, and I'm doing a little bit better at adapting the bike throughout the day. But the biggest thing is just I'm enjoying riding right now, and I'm enjoying going to the races, and this whole thing's been a really good thing for my psyche and where I'm at as far as just life.
Awesome. Congratulations. Cooper, you've won many events in your career now. You have multiple. But today was a pretty complete day. The heat race took care of business. You were in a good battle, but won that one. And then that main event, a good battle early, and then won this one. Did you feel like overall with yourself, the bike, that everything just gelled today? It just from front to back just seemed like a complete day.
It turned into that for sure. I mean, honestly, I feel like, my speed's been good this whole time. Fitness is – oh, sorry, I got my AC running. Hold on.
Anyone else want to talk about it?
Everything's been good. Yeah, today was good. I mean, I felt like the heat race, I was actually made a little bit of mistakes and stuff like that, but was able to still win. And then the main event, just getting that good start really helped. And then, Kenny was really fast at the beginning, and he was like that in the heat. But, I just kind of kept plugging away, doing my laps, and, he fell off a little bit, and I kind of got into where I could just kind of ride my own race. And, it was a great race to win. I mean, again, it's huge, and it was awesome to be able to get my second win here in Salt Lake.
Congratulations, guys. We'll open up to the media now. We'll start with Steve Mathis, and then Jason Wygant and Steve Giberson be ready after Mathis. Go ahead, Steve. Unmute.
All right. Thanks, Daniel, for that. I was really not expecting it. I guess question for Zach. First of all, Zach, in the heat race, saw you drop back. I wasn't sure what happened there. And then also, has Bobby Hewitt been really happy with your riding so far in Salt Lake?
The heat race thing was just a little malfunction with my shock, something that I don't think I've ever seen happen since I've been on, the Husqvarna WP stuff. But Bob's been really happy. He's obviously from, a little bit remote right now, but he's been happy with everything, and the team's been gelling really well. That's all I can say.
Jason Wygant.
This question is actually for Dylan Ferrandis. Dylan, you're always having to come through the pack. Is it the starts or is it the early laps? Which one would you like to work on more, or where's the biggest area you think you can make the gain? The start or just actually the early laps of the race and getting up the pace?
I think tonight our start with my teammate was pretty good. It's just that on the heat race, I crashed with Cameron, and I just had a bad gate pick for the main. I was a 10, so I had to be on the outside, and that was not the ideal. But we managed to be the two Yamaha on kind of almost first in the first corner, but just a little bit to outside. So it was not that bad. All day I just felt not perfect. We had to make some change on the bike and to adapt the bike with the altitude and couple of stuff. So I just had not enough laps to feel the bike and feel good on it. So I think I was a little bit off today, but at the end of the main, I was feeling more myself, and we're gonna walk during the rest of the week with the team and improve for sure.
Can I ask another for Cooper Webb? Just talk about the whoops and the turn after the whoops. You and Kenny went at it probably 18 laps between the heat and the main there. So just talk about your strategy and your lines that you're using through that section.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously really quick in the whoops, and I'm getting better, but I wasn't as fast as him, and I just knew that if I hit that line all day, he wouldn't be able to pass me no matter how fast he was going. So that was kind of my strategy. I mean, I saw he was going more to the right. That looked like a better line, but like I said, in my head, I felt like he couldn't make the pass there. So in the heat, he was really good in the whoops, and the main, I felt like I was holding my own a bit better when they got more chewed up. So that was a little bit of the strategy there.
Steve Giberson.
Normally I don't bother talking about practice that much, but Austin, I'm curious what the heck was going on in practice out there. Was there something that prompted that, or what was happening?
Oh, that little mess. No, I just kind of like little frustration. Like, I mean, he kind of got in my way a little bit on like a fast lap that I had going. And I just rode by like really close to him, just like, you know, like whatever. And then clean me in the next turn. So now I can look back and laugh on it. But at the time I was a little frustrated, but I wasn't really worried about it. It's fine.
Gotcha. On the racing side, what was the vision like out there? You know, pretty late in the afternoon, it looked like you guys would come out of that rhythm section, make that corner for the triple. And how blind was that for everybody?
For me, the triple wasn't that bad. In my heat race, though, I missed the next rhythm section with that big double over like the start straight. I missed it like 2 or 3 times or 4. I don't know, because when our heat race was, the shadow was halfway through the turn, so we would go through and where it was still shadowed, it was slick. So we'd go to like good dirt, slide, and then hit it. And my eyes had to like, they were adjusting like right before I hit that. So I missed it a couple laps just because like I didn't want to jump into the tough blocks, not being able to like, you know, see where I was going. So that was the only part that was a little iffy for me. By the time the main rolled around, everything was pretty solid. I didn't really have as much trouble over the triple. I mean, the sun was in your eyes, but I was pretty solid there all day. I didn't really have any trouble with that.
The triple in our main was like blind. Might as well have been blindfolded.
Alex, go back.
Yeah, this one's for Cooper. Early on in the main event, you're obviously in battle with Ken. So were you anticipating that he was going to drop off at some stage, or what was going through your mind at that point of the race?
Just trying to do my laps. You know, I felt like our pace was really good, and you know, we were both riding good. He was a little better in places. I was a little better, and I felt like, we were just riding really good. And I think the track was one of those that you had to kind of give and take. Like, there wasn't a ton of passing spots, but yeah, I was clicking my laps, and I wasn't sure. I mean, after the heat, he was super fiery, and you know, we did 10 hard laps, and so I kind of felt like maybe he was gonna, you know, figure it out or whatever. But obviously, seemed to make some mistakes and whatnot. So. But yeah, I mean, he was riding good, so, you know, definitely, he dropped, I guess.
Michael Tomac and Dan Lamb after him.
Right. Hey, guys, this is for racers in the 450 class. Now that you have four races in the same venue on very different dirt conditions every time, are you changing the setup a lot from week to week or round to round, or has it basically been a baseline that you guys have gotten to stay at, with the exception of the mud ring?
Well, I've been who's going?
All right.
You guys should pick a name so we can not jack each other up.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Well, anyway, I've been pretty good. My bike's has had a really good base all year, so I can kind of leave her be.
Yeah, same for me. I haven't really changed that much other than clickers one direction or the other. But it's one of those deals where kind of like the dirt's a little bit different as far as the rhythm lanes go, but the corners have been kind of bermy. So that's kind of been the case every week or every race. So it's kind of the same every time.
Yeah, same for me. I've been able to get a good base during the break and just a click 2 or so here and there. But I've been pretty happy with things.
Dan Lamb.
Yeah, this is for Austin Forkner, Dan Lamb, MotoX Addicts. Austin, you're now 10 down. How important was this win, first of all? And did you kind of come into this race kind of do or die situation, because you lose more points today and it's going to be a big up?
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I'm kind of in the position right now where I just have to win out, you know?
Yeah.
And then that still, you know, might not be enough, you know, depending on how Dylan finishes. So that's just what I'm trying to do. I don't really have there's not really a plan like, oh, look at the big picture. There's only 2 races left now. So I'm kind of do or die. You know, I have to go out there and try to win, and I can't control anything that happens around me. All I can control is myself. So that's all I can do is just go out there and win and not make any big mistakes. But honestly, that's not even really in my head right now. I just need to win. Pretty simple, you know.
Pretty simple. And for Cameron, you had a lot of speed today. That heat race, chased down Dylan, caught him, got in a little mix with him there. How surprised were you that you had the speed you had today? And was it just more time on the bike, or just you're just feeling comfortable today?
Yeah. I to be honest, I wasn't really surprised there. That's kind of what I expected. Like, was feeling really good coming into the season, and even like early on in St. Louis, I felt really good. And obviously, I had a pretty bad crash, and that kind of messed the rest of that part of the season up. So in this time off, like I said, I've worked pretty hard, and I've been feeling really good on the bike. So that's what I wanted. And yeah, like the deal in the heat race, I knew I had to make a pass somewhere, and it kind of the way the track was the way it was, like it was going to have to be pretty aggressive. And obviously I didn't try for it to be what it ended up being. Like, it was pretty much worst case scenario, but had to do what we had to do. And so yeah, I actually got it back in the heat race because Mosman got into me a little bit, but yeah, so it was good. I was pretty happy with where we're at and excited to go at it again in a few days.
LeBig and then Dark Side after him.
Actually, I had a question about for Cameron about what happened with the.
You cut out on me.
Yeah, I think we might have lost a little connection there. Dark Side.
Eli. So it sort of feels like there's a new Eli this year. You know, we've talked in the past about little mistakes, little mental mistakes here and there that have caused you some issues. Is there anything consciously you've done this year to try to overcome that?
I wish I could say there is, but no, you know, haven't done anything different. It's just making these, you know, those bad starts or whatever, like minimizing the damage there. Like, I had a bad race in Atlanta, you know, I went down and I got back to fourth, and then like tonight, you know, totally buried in like 12th or 16th or something and got back to third. So those are the nights that have changed for me versus the past. Yeah. And just, I don't know, more and more racing, the more experience you get, I guess.
Cameron, Dylan talked about this being the most difficult race, you know, of the year so far, and you got a couple more to go. You guys have watched the East Coast guys deal with this, and now we got another race in a couple of days, you know, 3 days basically. Is that, you know, how do you prepare for that? Obviously, it's difficult at that elevation, but something different you got to deal with.
Yeah, it was tough for all of us, I think, tonight, but I feel like I'm in a really good position fitness-wise for sure, and it's a lot of laps when these tracks are short like this, but it was kind of what I expected seeing the first few races, and it's a little bit tougher with the elevation and stuff, but we're all racing at the same elevation, so it's kind of let's see who can suffer more. So I'm excited to keep going.
I got one more. Cooper, in the heat race, Kenny was doing that 3-3 before the finish line, and you were doubling. Was that something, were you aware that he was doing that during the race and he was gaining quite a bit of time on you? And is that something, obviously you changed it for the main, but during the heat race, were you aware?
No, not till after. I mean, I had done it in practice, and honestly, I don't know why I wasn't doing it in the heat. But yeah, I could see that after rewatching and the semi and stuff, I could see that's where he was really catching me a lot. So I knew for the main that it was going to be important to hit it. And so yeah, like I said, I'd done it in practice, and it was more just the way the track ended up being. It was a lot more hard pack, and I'd say the night show versus practice. So yeah, I guess I was just kind of second guessing that. But yeah, in the main, I think I hit it about every lap. So that was a good deal.
LeBig, we'll let you get back in there.
No, actually, I had a question for Cameron, but I think it was the same question that Dan Lamb. So I'm okay. I mean, he answered the question, so I'm fine. Thank you.
Steve Mathis, back to you, and then Jason Wygant, and then Steve Giberson, be ready after them.
Two questions for Eli. The TV had you somewhere around 15th off the start. What happened? Do you know what the deal was there? And two, I saw you in practice going 3 in on the rhythm after the whoops. Never saw it in the night show. Maybe you did. I missed it. Never saw you do it again. Was it slower? I couldn't get a time on it, so I don't know which way you were thinking either on that rhythm.
The start, I don't know what happened. I do know Zach beat me out of the inside, so that jacked me. And then it was just a bad start. Like, looking back now, I probably should have went over a few more gates, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. I never did that 3 after the whoops. No, because I was looking at it, but I never popped that 3. So
really? Oh, I swear I thought I saw you do it a couple times. Sorry.
That lane was, in my opinion, just misery. Just starting with a double and then on and off for us. It's just, I don't know what happened there, but there wasn't much going on in that lane.
Jason Wygant.
Yeah, this question is for Zach Osborne. Okay, podiums are good and runner-up finishes are better than thirds, but are you getting to the point now where you're not satisfied with that and your goal is now to win these races?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, that's the goal. I've got everything in the top 5 but a win so far since we've been here. So, but like I said the other day, you have to walk before you can run, and this season's been really challenging for me up until, really the first race of this little swing we're doing. So, for me, it's been really positive this whole trip, and I can't be too disappointed. So my main goal is to come here and kind of turn the momentum of the season that I had going, which was, trending down, and get trending up. And I think I've done that. So it takes a lot of pressure off of me just to hang some results and be, up in the mix. And I think that the win will come soon enough. I mean, I'm in a good position as far as my body goes, my bike, and I feel like I can do it before we leave here.
Unmute.
Similar question actually for Cameron McAdoo. You got a great ride this year on a team I know you wanted to be on. Did you feel pressure since you got hurt at the beginning of the year? Did you feel pressure to finally deliver some results, get it on the podium here? Was that eating at you during this entire break to finally show what you have?
I wouldn't say it was eating at me. I was very motivated. Like, even when there was times when there was a lot of uncertainty with everything, in the world, like, I was like, I need to show what I've worked for. Like, the whole off season went so good and it seemed so seamless. And then for it to what happen to me early on was really tough pill to swallow. So, like, I was just really motivated to, whenever we came back to racing, to show what I've been working for. And I still feel like, I want to win. Like, I was happy with third tonight. I haven't podium this year, but 4 days, like, got 2 more spots. So yeah, feels good.
Steve Giverson.
For Cooper, to get through the end of the season, try and get the results that you want to get, for the championship. You obviously have to get the wins in there, but is there any mind games going on? Or are you trying to put pressure on everybody else? I've seen a couple little things like one time you and Eli are going through the whoop side by side and you're looking over sideways at him or things like that.
I was trying, but he's been, like you said, I feel like this year, he's been very mentally strong and he's been freaking ripping. So, I think it's a little easier with some of the other guys, but not so much with him. So, at this point, I just try to do what I can on the bike and, keep getting great starts, which I think have helped. And, I've gotten first and second twice now. So I think that's about as good as I can ask for. Obviously, 3 more and we'll see what'll happen. But I've been happy and just knowing that I gave it my all these last 7 and really kind of turned into, so far, I think it's been, good just to be able to run with Eli. And, beginning of the season, I think he definitely had a bit of the upper hand. So that's been cool.
Michael Antonovich.
All right. This will be for the, let's say, GVD West Coast guys. Let's go Dylan, and then Cameron, and then Austin. You guys watched all this stuff happen. Has this lived up to your expectations the way you thought it would, racing with no crowd, an earlier schedule, things like that, the altitude? Or was it maybe a little bit easier than you might have expected after watching those first 3 races?
I feel like when the gate drop, like there's no difference, fans or not. I haven't feel any difference, but yeah, the elevation. I didn't expect that was that hard. I don't know if it's because I'm only here since two or 3 days now, but yeah, I never had problem before, and yeah, that was hard today. Really hard on the breathing, so kind of more difficult a little bit than what I expect.
Yeah, for me, like Dylan said, like once the gate drops, I think like until the 30-second board's up and stuff, it feels way different. Like throughout the day, not having fans, not having signing, and like it not being packed, it almost felt like a press day vibe a little bit, you know, in the pits and stuff. And like, but then, kind of once you get going racing, like it's the same. It's super intense, and obviously the fans are like a lot. You know, they're helpful. Like it's sweet. We miss having them, but it was definitely different, and it's kind of a weird vibe. You know, wearing face masks and stuff like that. But I'm just really grateful that everyone at Feld and everything got it back to go, and we're one of the first sports back, so that was good. And the elevation, it's different, and but like I said earlier, like we're all racing in it, and so
for me, I felt like it was almost maybe less stressful. It was like you didn't have like, I mean, it's awesome to have fans. Fans are awesome, but you know, like when you come off the track, everybody knows when you come off the track and there's a bunch of people, hey, sign this. You know, there's people around you all day, always trying to, you know, it was just so mellow today. You know, I love the fans there, and I love you know, everything, but when the gate drops, you don't notice anything. Whenever you're on the track, nothing's different. So it's mainly just everything leading up to the racing that's a little bit different. It's just you know, mellow. Doesn't really feel like a race day. So it's almost like you have to hype yourself up a lot, because usually I have Ollie screaming in my ear on the starting gate, like, let's go. The fans are doing the wave, or the flames are going off everywhere. There's pyro before. That all just gets you like, okay, like hyped for the night, and that's not really the case. So you kind of just have to do that for yourself. But once the gate drops, it's, I mean, the only difference, I guess, is when somebody gets past or somebody crashes, you hear it. But other than that, no, it's not much different.
Last question, Jason Wygant.
Yeah, this is for Dylan. With a points lead that you had was not that big. Was there some pressure over the break to make sure you came into the exact same form? You had 2 in a row, and then you didn't race for 4 months. So what was that experience like to try to stay at the same level and have a slim points lead the whole time?
Was not really different. Like I always train hard, even there is break or not, there is a championship online or not. I just do whatever my trainer asked me to do, and we came here with the not really taking care of the championship. I just want to ride the best I can and try to win more race, and also because at the point now, I'm more riding to show myself to the 450 team, you know, because next year I will be in 450, and I need to have the best bike. So I really want to show what I'm capable of, and find a good deal for next year. For sure, the championship is really important, but. I mean, if I ride like I know how to ride, it's possible. So I just want to focus on the race and just try to win. And we see at the end. I mean, last year was so crazy what happened that I just don't really look at the championship point. For sure, it's important, but I try to take race by race and do the best I can every time, and we make the count at the end.
All right, everybody, that is the podcast for today. We'll probably have more because there's more racing coming up. Another one on Sunday night as we run out this string. Really interesting the way it's all turned out. Cooper Webb, he and Tomac have basically been even Webb has now outscored Tomac slightly because Webb has 2 seconds, 2 firsts. Tomac has 2 firsts, a second, and a third. But it's essentially been even Steven between those two. It's Roczen and Barcia who have really taken the huge hits in points. So Webb has now leapfrogged Roczen to take over second in the series. Anderson has leapfrogged Barcia to take over fourth. Zach Osborne was nowhere in points, but I think you can make a reasonable case that he's been the third best guy in these 4 Salt Lake City races. You're not going to see it reflected in the final point standings, but it is significant how far Zach has risen, and I'm really intrigued by that. I'm always a guy who really, really analyzes and thinks about the whole rookie thing in the 450 class, and the reason why is there's this obvious learning curve. This year, everyone was so pumped on Adam Cianciarulo coming in. He's got character built up because of all the years of injuries. He's more seasoned than the average rookie. Guess what, dude? He did what rookies did. He got hurt, and then he came back, and he got hurt again. It's just what rookies do. You have to give them really up to year 3 is when they really figure it out. What Osborne did last year, he had 1 good Supercross race. Guess what? Some crashes, some injuries. See how it goes? This year, a few highlights, some downs, some ups. Now you're starting to see signs for Osborne in year 2, and then that would lead to year 3 when the guys usually start to figure it out. You know who won the title in year 3? Cooper Webb won it in year 3 after having a whole bunch of ups and downs in years 1 and 2. Ricky Carmichael, terrible in his first year. Better but not great in his second year. All of a sudden, year 3 on fire, wins the title. The 3-year thing, it just seems to work for that way. James Stewart crashed a whole bunch, got hurt a whole bunch his rookie year. A lot better in the second year, won the championship in his third year. It's just the way it seems to go for most guys. Yes, Dungey and not Shane McElrath, but Jeremy McGrath won as rookies. Chad Reed won in his second year in the class. But again, I'll take the 44 other years of history outside of those 3 as my example, that it usually takes 3 years to figure it out. First year, usually a complete disaster. Second year, some signs, maybe 50-50 good, bad. Year 3, really good. Now you're seeing it from Zacho, who would be as seasoned, and let's be honest, as old as any rookie in this class as you're ever going to get. It doesn't matter how seasoned you are doing anything else. 450 Supercross is a whole different animal. And it's taken a while to adjust, but now we're really starting to see it. And I think Zach, I'm not even going to say I think, I know. We texted him after the race, me and some of my buddies, and he wasn't pumped finishing second. He wants to win a Supercross now. That gives you an idea where his head's at and where his confidence is. It's awesome. Just wanted to add that. Also adding that Yoshimura is our sponsor of this pod, Yoshimura-RD.com, YoshimuraCycling.com for all the latest for your motorcycle and your bicycle. And also RacerXOnline.com. We've got so much info on the website. I wish we were almost back to the March-April days where you had nothing but time on your hands to just look at your phone and read stuff. I'm sure a lot of you are actually back to work and doing real things. But give us a look because we've got so much preview and so much review stuff. Double the amount of usual because it's double the amount of races. And you'll learn a lot. All right, that's our podcast. We'll be back with more in a few days. Thanks.